Add cube and tab to edit mode. Subdivide and change the number of cuts to 2. Go to the Modifier tab, search for Subdivision Surface. Change the Levels viewport to 2. Scale cube accordingly. Add 1 loop cut. Select the edges, turn on proportional editing, and scale along the y-axis. Select the edges, move upwards on z-axis, and scale it down a little bit. Add 2 loop cuts. Select faces and extrude downwards along the z-axis. Select Object and apply the Subdivision Surface modifier. Tap to Edit Mode, select Faces, and extrude along the y-axis. Select Faces, extrude along the y-axis again. Select Edges, bevel the edges, and change the number of segments to 3. Select Edges, bevel the edges, and change the number of segments to 4. Select Faces and hit Shift-S to move the cursor to Selected. Now add a UV sphere and scale it down. Add Cylinder, scale it down, and adjust it along the z-axis. Shade UV sphere by angle. Shade cylinder by angle. Select cylinder and sphere, then join them together. Rotate the object and position it accordingly. Tap to Edit Mode and add 4 loop cuts. Select Faces, then extrude inward. Select Edges, bevel edges slightly, and change segments number to 3. Select Object, shade smooth by angle, and change angle to 50 degrees. Add cube, scale down on the x-axis. Scale cube along the y-axis, move cube upwards. Then scale along the z-axis. Tap to Edit Mode, subdivide, then add 2 loop cuts towards the top. Select Edges, then scale outwards. Select Edges and scale inwards. Bevel selected edges and change the number of segments to 3. Scale selected faces outwards a little. Make sure proportional editing is still on. Select edges and move them upwards on z-axis. Add 2 loop cuts, select edges, and move upwards along z-axis. Select edges and adjust accordingly along z-axis. Add 2 loop cuts, select edges, and scale along y-axis. Adjust other edges how you see fit. Select faces and scale or adjust it until you like the shape of the toast. Select faces and then dissolve those faces. Select faces on the other side of the toast and dissolve them. Bevel selected faces, change the number of segments to 3. Tab to Object Mode and shade object by angle. Select edges and bevel them, change the segment number to 3. Add UV sphere, scale it down, then shade smooth by angle. Alt-D to duplicate object. Select both spheres and move to center of toast. Add torus, rotate 90 degrees along the y-axis, then scale down. Tap to Edit Mode, select edges, and delete edges. Select edges, then press F to fill. Select faces and scale along the y-axis. Select faces and delete faces. Select edges and press F to fill. Select edges again, bevel them, and change segment number to 3. Select object and shade smooth by angle. Select faces and separate selection. Tap to edit mode, select faces, and separate selection. Tap to edit mode. Adjust edges to make the top of the toast more smooth. Click on the Edit tab, then go to Preferences. Type an image in the search bar and select Import Images as Planes. Select File, then Import Images as Planes. And import the image you would like to use. Rotate plane 90 degrees on the x-axis, then 90 degrees on z-axis. Adjust position and scale. Add cylinder and rotate 90 degrees on the y-axis. Scale down cylinder along the x-axis. Adjust position. Tap to edit mode and select edges. With proportional editing on, move selected edges along x-axis. Tap to object mode and shade smooth by angle. Select object, go to Materials tab and add a new material. Go to Compositing tab, insert glare node. Now add Den 1 node. Select the glare node, change streaks to fog glow. Select cylinder, add new material. And change the emission strength to 2.0. Select object, add new material. Change base color to image texture. Select your image. Select object, add material, pick a color. Then change metallic to 0.5. Add plane and adjust the objects. Select edges and extrude the edges along the z-axis. Select edges, bevel edges, and change the segment number to 6. Select object shade smooth by angle. Select toast, add material, change emission to 1. Select emission color. Go to Texture Paint tab, change Texture Paint to Object mode. Select Object, go to Materials, use Color Dropper on Texture. Select Mouth, apply same material as eyes. Go to Shading tab and change Principled BSDF to Emission. Add Color Ramp node. Now add a Gradient Texture node. Add Mapping node. Add a Texture Coordinate node. Connect Object node to Vector, then Vector node to Vector. Connect Color to FAC, then Color to Color. Adjust the colors on the scale as you like. I changed the material for the cylinder so there's no gradient. Now adjust the gradient mapping. On the Mapping node, I changed the rotation for y-axis to -45 degrees. I adjusted the color for the gradient a little.